You're getting a thumbs up.
Yep. Okay. Testing. Okay, this is
Testing.
working.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, if people could just get seats.
Okay.
There's a couple seats over here if people need them, but we'd like to get started soon. Hi, everyone. There are so many of you. That has been a consistent DashCon 2 feeling, to be honest.
Yep. We'll get into this later, but part of the rules of making a thing like DashCon 2 is expect no one to care, since that was the big flaw from the first one. So many of you care.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but in case you didn't hear our opening, I'm Avis, they, them. This is Simone, she, her. We are the DashCon 2 co-founders, so thank you.
So, to start, the question you might be asking yourselves is why? Why would you do this?
So, we're not going to answer that for a few more slides, but we are going to start off with another question, which is what kind of freaks would do this? What kind of hubris does it take?
Yes. But who is us?
So I'll start off since again, like I said, Avis. I have been on Tumblr for 10-ish years, since middle school, basically. I was in the Who and, actually, that's a lie. I was in the Who and Lock, not the Who and Super. So fun fact about running a convention is that you don't have time to proofread your own slides when you are busy, like firefighting other things. My bad. But I was I was in the Who and Lock parts of Super Who Lock. I watched one episode of Supernatural, and it scared me. Shout out Tim. I don't know if he's here, but he's here somewhere. He's the one who actually got me on Tumblr and stuff. Yeah. I was the one who got on Tumblr because it seemed like the kind of thing someone who listened to MCR would do. So thank you, 9/11, for starting all this.
Yeah, can I get a quick shout-outs to 9/11? Quick shout-outs to 9/11.
This is recorded.
I can't believe any of you cheered for that. I should not be surprised that you cheered for that. I shouldn't be surprised.
But... Yeah. We are kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, my top artist on Spotify for the past so many years has been Hosier, top 0.001% of listeners because...
Yep. Of course. Like they said, I'm Simone. I joined Tumblr. I checked on the little tracker to find out when my blog was made. It was about 9 years ago. I joined for 2 reasons, and they're even dumber than you're ever thinking. Which is, one, I just wanted to read all of Ask Airtail Sans. I encountered it, I think, legitimately on Google Images. Or Google Images, or a video with a comic dub type thing, and I was like, I gotta figure this out. Didn't do any media of the social media. No, didn't do any social of the social media. Just read Airtail Sans. Also, I created the blog because I was briefly questioning my gender at the same time I was questioning my sexuality, and I was like, that's the blog you can be trans on. And so I was like, yeah, this is where you put the identities in bio, right? So I made a blog, put bisexual and bigender in bio, and then I closed it and didn't open it for several years. And after 2 weeks, I was like, no, I'm just bisexual. I think cis woman works for me.
Unfortunately, I am gender fluid to this day.
Yes, we exist. We exist. Yeah, also I think, no. I think Avis being really into Hosier and me being really into Ninja Sex Party says...
That was a way louder cheer, what?
Everything you need to know about who we are. Okay, next slide, please.
So, we did not attend the original DashCon.
We were 10 years old. You can do some math on how old we are. We're not going to do it for you.
So, if we didn't attend the original and we weren't necessarily there in 2014, you might wonder, how did this all occur? On our couch.
We do own that pillow. He haunts me every day.
So, one thing you can know about us, we're roommates. Oh my God, they were roommates?
We're roommates with half the staff. There's 4 of us. We all study in Montreal. And...
Woo! Montreal mention!
And I had recently rewatched one of those explainer videos on DashCon and how it flopped, all of that. And I remember thinking
One of them.
Very hubristically. I'm like, it seems like this is a skill issue. Because, okay, so you didn't answer your email for months. Obviously everyone canceled. You didn't pay anybody. Obviously everyone canceled. You expected bazillions of people to come, so therefore expect no one will come. And just answer your email. Could Could it be that easy? And so I sat on my couch with my beloved roommates, and I said, guys, I'm about to make a confession. My toxic trait is I think I could do DashCon.
And I was immediately on board with that shit. So that's kind of how that occurred. It started off as a bit and rapidly became not a bit. So you might wonder the why thing again.
Why would you do this?
Why did it evolve from Bitland to Seriousland? This is from our master doc we created at the very beginning of all this that had our original plan. A lot of it very outdated at this point, but that's kind of fun.
Yep.
So do you want to start with your reasoning? I think it's interesting.
Okay, so I am assuming most, if not all of you, have seen the Strange Eons video that was on us, yes. And if you've seen the comments, I don't know if you've read as many as I have, because, of course, I would read all of them, but a lot of people are making jokes like, Lamau, is DashCon 2 a recession indicator? DashCon 2 a recession indicator. You're right, they are absolutely right. I am so sorry. I don't need to explain to you all the myriad of reasons why it's hard for new grads right now. We're gonna be new grads pretty soon. And I looked at my resume, and I looked at the state of the world right now, and economy, yada, yada, and I was like, I don't know if I'm getting a job. I might have to have the most bonkers resume of all time, and maybe
DashCon
someone
2.
will hire me. By the way, it did work. I have a job now. Yeah, so you were right. Crazy that someone has to do DashCon 2 to make a living, but also, by the way, it's not a living.
We have put so much more hours. I cannot tell you how many hours we put into this. We're not making minimum wage at the end of this. No. DashCon 2 is very much a labor of love, and as much as it is born of the recession and looking at a resume be like, yikes, it is also born of the post-COVID lack of just small conventions in Ontario and stuff. A lot of small conventions have kind of been phasing out. I know there's one I used to go to as a kid in my hometown that just doesn't exist anymore. And it would be at the local Four Seasons Hotel, a couple hundred people. I remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer actors came and I was so hype. But that doesn't exist anymore. And there's just not these in-person spaces for people to convene. So part of DashCon 2 was because we saw this gap here. And Simone is an extrovert with years of experience dragging introverts outside. Yes. And I aspire to be like her. So we kind of sat down and we're like, this could be a chance to kind of bring people together in a somewhat novel, not novel, but a way, because a lot of just after COVID, I think a lot of us have felt that while online relationships and connections are so important, they have saved my life. There are niches they cannot fill in the same way there are ways that online relationship or in-person relationships don't fill the same niches on online ones. And so we wanted to create a space for people to take seriously the online fandom and connections and weirdness and I'm neurodivergent. I have a community revolutionary. I wanted these resources to be in person. I wanted to see people like me face to face in a space made for us. And DashCon 2 kind of became that as we thought about it more and more. A lot of everything at this convention has been, what would we want to see if we were going to this convention?
We can't go to this convention. We have to run this convention. It is so tragic. Man, if you think you're upset that you can't go to both the Muppet Joker and Strange Aeons' panel, think about me. I can't go to any of them.
But that's sort of the impetus. And now we move on to, what does it actually look like making a DashCon?
Sad that we skipped the fridge pick. I wanted to acknowledge the fridge pick. They are frequently on the fridge.
Also, equally, this is Simone.
Yeah, that's me. I don't look like me, but that is me.
I think that is fully grape juice in that glass.
Grape
juice in that glass and a wine bottle in my hand.
We thought, I should put a pic of Avis on the fridge. And then we just had to scroll through okay, this time, or this time, or this time you were on the fridge.
Anyways, so the DashCon 2 stuff. So the timeline, you guys like timelines, right? So to be honest, while making this, we had to sit for a long moment because so much of this is emails. DashCon 2 begins and lives and dies by emails.
So boring, dude. I'm so sorry.
So we've tried to condense this into the highlights, which starts with DashCon, because DashCon does not exactly have a fantastic reputation in starting out. So we were like, do we modify it? Is it BashCon? We bought a couple different website domains, and then we were like, you know what? No one cares about BashCon. It's going to be DashCon 2.
You gotta go for the
LLC name. The original LLC is expired. We're probably legally fine. So we
Don't sue us. Hey, 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 hey. Don't sue us.
please. But yeah, to Dash Tutor, that is a nothing to you and everything to me. For some reason, a durian was under consideration to be our logo at some point.
Being the only neurotypical in the room was difficult in this moment. Yeah. You wouldn't think a neurotypical would run this convention. We exist. Shockingly, yes.
She's special, honestly. I don't know. But also, then next is we buy a website. I think this is mentioned in the DashCon thing of one of the things we kind of stood up for the start is how much are we investing in this? How much money are we willing to put in up front? And originally it was a costful website, which was like $60 to also host the actual site itself. Thank you, WordPress. You are my
I hate
toxic
you so much.
Yowie.
I hate WordPress.
So we had that. We made that up. We started an email address, and we sent out a bunch of emails. We sent out emails to local conventions to try and connect with people who had experience running conventions. Because while we had event planning experience, we had never run a convention ourselves, obviously. So we reached out to people who had to try and get their advice, get their thoughts.
We emailed everyone we could think of. We emailed Tumblr. Tumblr. We emailed Strange Eons as a hope and a prayer.
And as you can
And
tell,
as you can see, yeah, we got emailed back. Now, flashbulb memories? It's a flashbulb memory for me now. I remember where I was when I got the Strange Eons email back because we thought, okay, if we put in a bit of money into this, it'll set us aside from people who are saying this is a joke because $60 is a lot for a bit. It is. And so we messaged Strange and we had it written on our little Google Doc, like, okay, what happens if she says no? Because everything is riding on her saying yes. I don't think anyone will know or care if she says no. How much money can we afford to pay her if we have to pay her? It was all of that sort of crunching of numbers. And then she responds back and it's like, I'd be down. However, I don't trust you yet. Prove to me you're legit.
enter the most stressful slideshow of my life.
We made her a whole slide deck. It felt crazy getting her into a private Discord so we could have the conversation. I remember when we got that email back, because I was at work, and I just said, hey, I'm gonna take a break for a bit. I stood up, and I walked outside, and I called Avis on the phone. And
I was also at work.
They were also at work. They went on lunch, and we screamed in the parking lot for several minutes.
This was a somewhat regular occurrence as we got more emails back from different people. So obviously it worked out with Trade Ions. Shout out, thank you so much. And then entered the other screaming event. Tumblr double texted us.
Yeah.
So we had initially sent out an email to Tumblr Media, basically being like, "Hey, do you want to sponsor DashCon?"
Yeah.
Not
Money?
expecting it.
A little bit of money, sir? Some
Please?
money? They said no.
Immediately.
But they responded back, which I was not expecting.
And then,
We'll get to that, my friend. We'll get to that.
anyways, so they responded, "No, we expect that." Then
Yeah,
they
however-
emailed us again.
I want to say that the email, it's not an email you would have expected as your first email. You get a rejection, and the first line, it's just like, no, we're not interested. And I'm like, okay, I'm okay. And then they said, but let us know how this goes. We're curious. And they also linked us to the blog, the Strange's blog, saying, oh yeah, she's gonna make a Tumblr retrospective on DashCon. You might want to get in on that. We already knew, but they were linking us again. And that was pretty wild. And then we're just living our lives a week or so later, and they email us again saying, hey, we've been talking around the office about how to make DashCon 2 a success, and we've decided to offer you free Blaze credits. And we were like, I have looped in on this email the COO of Tumblr, as well as the head of the Blaze department. I had a heart attack. I'm a ghost now.
I had to take my asthma inhaler. I'm not kidding. One email. So that was just surreal and exciting and fun. And then the dark times began, because we had been we were talking with Strange, and we were comfortable going public in the video she posted, the original 2-hour-long documentary, because we had been deep in conversation with the venue. We're not going to name any names, but we had essentially been to the stage just before a contract was put before our desk. We had gotten no hesitation from them or anything. And to be clear, this is not the fault of the person we were talking to or anything.
The person we were talking to was very genuine, trying to make what we wanted to do a success. We actually, one of our staff knew them personally, and so they knew to trust us. We had connections. There was a reason we thought that we could feasibly do this at XYZ place.
And then they brought it to the board, and the board said no.
The board said, "Lol, are you kidding?" The board, because, and I honestly, I'm mad at them because, of course I am, but I can't really blame them.
We expected
because
this.
The reputation of DashCon was venues don't get paid. Why would you willingly take on a convention where the rumor is that, you won't get paid if you let these people in your building, and they all are like freaks?
Yeah,
why would you do that?
For the record, one of the two things, there are freaks in the building. However, for the record, we have paid the venue, paid them fully in advance. There is no bag getting handed out.
If they kick us out, I'm suing in small claims.
But also around this time, it's not on the timeline, but also around this time, my mom gets diagnosed with cancer, which is just a double whammy, really. She's given me permission to be lighthearted about it, and she is okay. She is in remission. Shout out to my mom. And she is a really important figure in my life. She was supportive of this from day one, which is frankly incredible. But that moment of just having all that fear and uncertainty and that almost preemptive grief of am I going to lose someone was emotionally sewering and was not feeling great. Simone's actually the reason we did the charity cancer for the Canadian Cancer Society, because she suggested it when I was confessing that I'm having trouble working right now, because she was like, will this make you feel, because you can't take control of the situation, but you can do something for it. And I'm really grateful for that suggestion. I'm grateful to the Canadian Cancer Society for letting us run this drive, and I'm grateful to all of you for making donations. It's been incredible to watch those sort of comments and stuff roll in. It is probably the thing I am proudest of here. And so, thank you. Well, this is the moment of sadness in the timeline. It has turned into one of the best things.
Yeah. We initially, because this is the panel where we talk about stuff, we initially really wanted to support a charity that gives services to HIV-positive people in the Toronto area. We really wanted to call it Actual HIV Living so badly.
They did
Part
not
of
email us.
Part of the patchwork of running a thing like DashCon 2 is discovering that maybe you can have a little bit of sympathy for the DashCon OG staff, because everyone is bad at emails. I've called charities, I've emailed charities repeatedly being like, hey, can I give you money? Can I please give you money? And they just don't respond. So I don't know, but the universe works in mysterious ways, and so I'm very glad to support the charity that we have chosen to support.
Yeah. Moving on to a slightly lighter subject. Then we get in connection with Lachlan O'Neill. This is an emotional roller coaster. You can imagine how we felt. This is through Tia was like, hey, I know where I interviewed her for the video. I can connect you guys.
Yep. And so we did. And immediately we were like, we can do something with this. It feels really mean to not let you participate in this convention when you are our progenitor. You are the reason we are here. So that was just pretty neat.
Yeah. Lachlan has been nothing but wonderful,
Yep.
and we're really grateful for her for coming and being so enthusiastic and willing to talk to us.
Yep.
And moving forward in the timeline. So after all of this excitement and this roller coaster, we then were entering negotiations with a new venue for 6 months.
It takes forever to email people. This is what I said about it being boring. It's just like, hey, can we do this? Okay, yeah, but can we do this part? Can we add rooms later if it gets to be bigger? Yeah. Please respond. It's just.
And also,
just
to be
that.
fair, there was a lot of negotiations to do, dates to set, a lot of stuff like that. 6 months was a long, because we were held in stasis. We had so many plans, and we could not set anything in stone because you cannot sell that. We were not taking anyone's money until we had this on lock.
It would be completely unethical and antithetical to our mission and values to sell something when we have nowhere for you to go. So we just had to be like, okay, please don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard. you guys were great, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed by how like warm and supportive people have been about the fact that this is a bumpy ride, and it always will be.
Y'all are great.
Thank you.
And I love you, random citizen.
Yep. So what happened? We make our big post, and this is the one that had all of the things we had been working on for like 6 months, but we couldn't really commit to. So it had like, here's our venue, here's the date. The date had to change, and then it changed, by the way, to my mother's birthday, and happy birthday, Mom, by the way. I did not realize this. Like, it did not cross my mind that July 5th, DashCon 2 was the same July 5th my mother was born. The wires did not connect. So I realized that it was the same July 5th on call with my mom. Not my best moment. Did I mention she had cancer at the time? So that was, I'm really batting 10 for 10 there. But, she's...
Give her a video call right now.
No, she's driving. But was very gracious about it. And maybe if you come to the closing ceremony, we might sing her a song or something. Maybe. Anyways.
Yep. And then you freaks crashed the website. We used this website called Simply Events because, as you know, things being what they are, we kind of want to buy Canadian as much as we possibly can. There's a Canadian alternative, and it actually has lower fees than Eventbrite. So we're like, okay, we charge you less, and we're shopping Canadian, win-win. And because it's a small company, if we need tweaks to the website, they actually listen to us.
It was wonderful.
It's wonderful, and I shout it to Simply Events. Legitimately, if anybody in this room wants to do an event, I recommend Simply Events. I can't recommend them enough. They have a fantastic support team. But anyway. They were very small because they're brand new and not expecting DashCon 2. And then we showed up, and then everything went down.
To be fair, we were not expecting DashCon 2. Apparently there is another event coming on. Our counter for how many people wanted to buy tickets broke at 6,000. We don't know how many people tried to buy tickets because it broke.
Yep.
So
we don't know.
There was an incredible number of people trying to access it. It was amazing. Also, we did skip over the croaker here. But to be fair, we don't actually know how that happened. We just kind of messaged them at one point, and they messaged us, and it was just like, do you want to be here? Do you want to fight straight? It got awesome.
Yeah, they were just, that's the thing. They were just riffing in the reblogs of each other. And we just thought, hey, I think people would go to that. We could do that. Do you want to make merch of that? We'll pay you some of it. Do you want merch? And they just said, yeah. And so now they're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after we sell out, and after we sell things, and there is money changing hands, then we have to be like, okay, we need to lock the fuck in.
Gets back to being boring, I promised.
We need to be really, really boring because there are so many. We now have 500 people who are counting on us to provide a good experience, and so this is where we get into all of the things I'm going to skip for now. And we're heading to Virtual Dash because, like I said, 6,000 people, and that broke. We felt kind of bad, to be honest. And there were a lot of people who were like, why don't you get a bigger venue? We had not run one con. We did not want to run a 1,000-person con.
We're not doing that to you.
We're
not DashConning again.
We wanted to run a convention that was within our comfort limits and make sure that we could provide the best experience we could and then expand in the future if there is still interest. So that's why we didn't do that. But we did still want to offer an option to participate in this it sounds pretentious, but kind of historical Tumblr event. We wanted a way to archive it, a way for people to sort of get in on that experience. Enter Virtual DashCon as an idea. We'd already been sort of floating it, and this is when we really committed to it. And I will fully say, this is Simone's baby. I have been involved in a couple things, but Simone made the Discord, Simone set up the Eventbrite tickets, Simone has been our MVP here from number one. So everyone watching online,
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that it's been a fun DashCon experience for you too.
Yeah. I copied those who came before me. There's this Rusty Quill convention called ArchiveCon, and they gave me so much support when setting up a virtual event. Of course, I felt really bad that so many people couldn't attend in person because it's so small, but also the United States is really big, and most of you are pretty far away. Also, a lot of disabled people or just trans people right now can't travel. So I just thought, just the internet, this is a thing, Tumblr is on the internet, so we should also be on the internet. So, and I'm also so mad at the price of the tickets. I really wish they could have been cheaper. Live streaming's so expensive, dude.
Yeah.
So expensive.
Yeah, we were from day one basically committing to Virtual Dash being a loss. We
Yeah.
have actually paid off Virtual Dash,
paid
which
it
is
off.
amazing. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And we have raised so much money for the Canadian Cancer Society through virtual tickets. Gratitude is the #1 emotion of DashCon right
Yeah.
now. So thank you for that. Moving on for that very serious thing, Merch Madness. Then we drop merch and like a bunch of people buy it. But like, and then we come here and so many more people buy it. I would have ordered more t-shirts.
Yeah, I was expecting like, oh, if people want to buy merch in person, they'll just buy it and click pick up. So they can just skip the line. Just skip the line. It'll be so easy. Who wouldn't do that? So clearly, like,
sorry.
I guess people just want less merch than I was expecting. That's okay. That's fine. It's okay.
We're not mad.
We're not mad. You're buying stuff from me. Why would I be mad? It's just we'll just have to ship online. And I wish I could have saved you more shipping fees than is happening right now. But sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So that's all that. And then, so the ball pit incident. We're sure you have questions. You cannot rent a ball pit in Ontario. We tried. We tried so hard. The dueling pit is the closest we could get, other than like shady Facebook Marketplace links that are listed for $0, then you click on it and it's like $5,000. I don't know.
Yep.
So the ball pit.
Yeah, and the ball pits that you rent on Facebook Marketplace and such, they're all like monochromatic, like beige mom type things. It's so weird. But the thing is, one of the boons that we got from the ball pit queen, Lachlan O'Neill, was the link to the original DashCon ball pit, and apparently she tried to buy it, but they wouldn't sell it to her. So we got sent the original link, and we were like, can we afford to just go to Chicago and like drive it back?
We were ready.
But in between us having the money and resources to do that and getting the link, they took it down. It's gone.
We do not know where the original DashCon ball pit is. We tried. You're getting kiddie pool full of ball pits we got from various sources.
Yep. It's incredible what you can find on Facebook Marketplace. Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to that one dude in St. Thomas, Ontario. I did a ball pit road trip to get it. Incredible. But yeah, I just own that forever now.
Yeah.
That's gonna be in my like I study shed.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
We're not putting it in the living room.
Oh, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because I own this forever now. I can drink mojitos in it forever now.
You cannot, though. There is no food or drink allowed in the
You
DashCon 2
can't,
ball pit.
but I can.
So that's that. And then I cannot express. Oh my God, there's someone who's the ball pit. Anyways, sorry. ADHD is very obvious. Anyways, so here's everything else we had to do. This is a limited list. I forgot some things. There's 200 emails I had to send for volunteers. It became more panelists, etc., etc. There's a lot.
My brain melted many, many times.
How did we do it? Introducing our team.
Our team.
This is not the entirety of our team, but this is a bunch of people. We had professional photos who we wanted to celebrate.
We're roommates with two of those people.
We're not telling you which ones yet.
I'll tell you just one.
So we'll start off with.
I dated one of those people. We're not dating anymore. We're best friends. It's gay people stuff, you know?
Don't worry about it. So we'll start off here with Emma, who has been a sort of jack of all trades. She's done a bunch of various things. We got her on spreadsheet budgeting things at the start because she's a wizard there. We got her running right now. She is running the harassment complaint line and making sure that everyone's having a safe and good time. In the afternoon, she's going to be a volunteer team leader for the desks team. She's been doing a lot of stuff. She's wonderful. Yeah.
Clap, bro. I don't care that she's not here. You're clapping.
Yeah, next up is Martin, who is our creative director. He created the clowns. He created basically any art you see. So volunteer t-shirts, all t-shirts, the stickers, icons, everything. That is all him, and he's done amazing.
And then we have our Lord and Savior, my ex-boyfriend. and best friend. He is the realest person. I owe my life to him. He's so great. He's our panels guy, but also because of like some family issues, he had to step back for a bit. But like I told him, and he was very gratified by this, but it's very, very true. He's our Samwise Gamgee. He's the guy with a car that will go with you any place, anytime. He'll make it happen. He has everything in his bag, always. And like especially medication. Like if you're having an allergy attack, hit that guy up. He will save
Unofficially.
your life. Unofficially.
Unofficially. We're not providing medication at DashCon 2.
We can't give you meds. Yeah, we can't do that. But
Please don't sue
yep.
us.
hey, don't sue us.
We don't.
But yeah, he's our guy in the chair, the cart seat.
Oh,
That's
hey.
it.
Hey, step forward. Step
I
forward.
love you.
Clap. He's having lunch. I don't think the stream people can see
Yeah.
him, but he is just
Yes.
off. Trust me, he's right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lie to you, would I?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. And finally, we have Ruby, who is our accessibility coordinator. That's something that we thought was really, really important. We wanted to like center disabled people in our experience, and especially like if anyone here has a disability and you don't feel like you've been properly accommodated, please tell us. Please complain to us. We want to make your experience better. So, yeah. Except some of you might be able to count. Some of you. We didn't act.
We're
Shouldn't have been
someone.
final. We're missing someone. So, in the
Ruby.
Ruby, one on the very end.
For the record, Emma, Martin, Oz, Ruby.
And then, so who's that? In the top left corner. It's the intern!
You may want to switch your names to make sure. Hi.
Thank you, thank you. Wonderful to see you all, actually. So I'm the intern. You may be asking, how? Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit short.
Our guy in the chair. Oh my God.
Yes, thank you so much. You may be wondering, so how do I know these lovely people? Well, you have our university to thank for that because our residents team, I don't know who they are, randomly put me and Simone together in first year. And so we were roommates, and yes, we were roommates. And thank God for them, because she's amazing. Love her to death. And then now I'm roommates with both of them. Oh my God. I
Simone
know.
and I met in a laundry room, by the way.
Yes. So that's how I know them. And I was part of the couch conversation. So I was also on board for this, but I was not nearly as much in the like practical, like, okay, how do we do this aspect of it? Because fun fact, I'm American. And so most of the time, I'm half Canadian. My mom's Canadian. We're good. Most of the time, like during the summer, and so when we're not at school, I am in a different country. And so I just wasn't really thinking because this was towards the end of our school year, and so we were going home, and I was just like, I don't think I can really do that. Fun fact, in the entire time that we have been working on DashCon 2, I have been in the same country as the rest of the team for 4 of those months. So, so that was I was like, I'll help you however I can. I would love to do that. Excuse me, I would love to do that. What do you need? And they were like, well, we need social media. I was like, I can do that. I've done that before. I have been on Tumblr since 2015. Mostly a lurker because I'm anxious. But I do other social media. I was very involved in involved in Tumblr even as a lurker, just watching and seeing everything. So I knew the culture quite well, and I thought that I could do a good job. So I decided to help with that. There was no intention of having the persona of the intern. I have to thank you all because all of the lore that happened was created entirely due to conversations or interactions with everybody. I did not. None of it was prepared. I made posts. People reacted, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool, and then I did it. So for example, I I think everybody's seen the Wendy's like tweet of like, like the intern, whatever. So when we were making our first post, I was like, well, it would be kind of funny if I pretended to be an intern who is like giving out like, secret information too early. I think that's funny. And then I was thinking that's gonna be the first post. I don't have to commit to that bit. I committed to the bit. And the me being a vessel for the spirit of DashCon 2, also not on purpose. Because again, I had made the first post as the intern, but I was not, like, we were getting asks and stuff and I was like replying to them. I wasn't like still doing that. I was like responding in different ways. And I responded to one of them as if I was the convention itself, because somebody asked to marry me. And I had to say, no, I can't. I'm a convention, not a human. And then somebody saw that and said, oh, but are you the intern or are you the convention? You have contradicted yourself. And I said, yes, I have. I must fix that. How will I fix that? Well, perhaps I am just an intern who is occasionally possessed by the spirit of DashCon 2. And then that became the lore. So I had to stick with it. And I tried at first to do like the DashCon 2 Spirit Daily Wisdom. Eventually I had to decide the Spirit experiences time differently. You may notice that the second DashCon is happening 11 years after the first. This is why it was called Daily Wisdom. It was not daily. So, hope you enjoyed that. And I had fan art of myself. Thank you for that. You can continue. So as I was saying, I was away for all but 4 of the months this was happening. Partially because I was at home in the U.S. Like for the summer. Partially because before we had decided on this, I had fully set up. I was going on exchange for the last fall semester. I was in Ireland for last fall semester. I was not in the same country. I was not in the same time zone. It was a little bit difficult. So in this post, it was while I was on exchange, I posted, terribly sorry for the lack of DashCon 2 wisdom. I'm on exchange this semester, and the time zone change, 5 hours, has been hard on the spirit. But they're back with more wisdom. DashCon 2's daily wisdom. Nothing is truly over until you decide it is. And that is really the thing that I have taken out of this whole experience, is there were so many points when we could have decided, okay, this was just a sign. We shouldn't have done this. We should just give up. It's over. But we didn't. And we kept going. And now we're all here. And I'm so glad that... And I'm so glad that we did that so that we can all be together. Because it was lovely speaking to you all on the internet. It is even more lovely to see you all in person. You have all been blessed by by DashCon Jesus. Have fun. Should I sit back down?
Yes.
Okay.
So, on that note, what does it take to run DashCon 2? If you want to make your own convention, you can't call it DashCon 2. We do have that business registered. But if you wanted to make like a different convention or something, what were our guiding principles? As you can see, there are clearly 10 of these, and they're all very fully reasoned. Number 1, answer your email. I feel like this is obvious.
Skill issue. Just answer it. I collectively, I'm managing about 5 emails that I constantly check, just at least twice a day. Avis is much the same. It's just you gotta keep people in like the right channels, and it is your fault if you don't respond. It's hard, but you gotta do it.
We are sorry to all the people who sent in queries and stuff that we couldn't respond to. There are a lot of you. We have tried to give each and every one of you the time you deserve, and I'm sorry if we missed you or you got lost in the scramble. We are doing our best to, answer every email and give people time and respect. Number 2 is don't do it all. One thing we wanted to be sure of is that no person is an island. No one was going to be the DashCon 2 guy. every responsibility. If you had too much on your plate, that's why we have a team behind us. There are about like 11 staff members in total. And so delegating roles, responsibilities, communicating with each other, setting, schedules and timelines and deadlines was a skill we had to develop real fast it is very much a group effort.
Yep, and we're of course still learning. Like, I struggled considerably to delegate when doing virtual DashCon. It's why I did so much of it. I don't consider that like a point of pride. I think I should have been better about having other people help me out and share the load, because I feel like I could have given virtual DashCon people a better experience if I had done that. But it's all a constant learning process. I don't expect myself to be perfect. I don't expect anybody to be. So it's something that you gotta put it on the wall. You gotta read it every day, and you will still forget it, but you just gotta keep it there.
Yeah, which leads us to point 3, which is not uplifting. It is lower your expectations.
No one cares about you. No one will go to your convention. Assume that you can make back your money if only half the people show up.
Yeah, so
At least.
Yeah, we thought 300 people were going to be here. Evidently, we have somewhat overshot that number. It was when our first post went viral, and we sent out a survey of who wants to come to DashCon, and there were like 4,000 people who said, yeah, I want to come. And we were like, okay, we're going to quarter that. That is our number that we are aiming towards, because there's a big difference between online interactions and in-person committing time and money and travel to go somewhere. So we consistently lower our expectations. It's why merch turned out the way it did. We've been very, for lack of a better word, conservative in our handling of money and stuff, because we just wanted to avoid that pitfall where we have promised something that we cannot deliver. We have always tried to hold back announcements we know would generate a lot of hype because something is out of place. It is, frankly, a principle I would advise people to stick by, maybe not as rigidly as we have. Again, we are learning, but it kept us safe in a lot of ways, I think. And the fact that you are all still here, you had the patience to allow us to, for lack of a better, come out at our own rate, has been wonderful.
Yep.
Thank you.
Number 4, no scamming. I do not feel I need to explain this to you.
Number 5, etc.
Yeah.
We weren't doing 10 of these.
Nah.
So, what did we learn? We have a couple major takeaways from here. Mm-hmm. And we've got 10 minutes to go through them. So I think, what's number 1 for you?
Number 1 for me has got to be, you can be more audacious than you think you can get away with. Because people respond very positively to people who try to do stuff. It's something that I've always kind of known as the extrovert that adopts introverts. Part of my, the way that I got into event planning actually was trying to get 10 of my friends, all who have ADHD, to go to a place at a time. And really wanted to go to a board game cafe. That was hard. It was hard. And so information was getting lost. People would ask it over and over again. So I said, okay, we're locking in. I'm creating a server where only I can talk in one of the channels, and it just has this big block of text that says, when is it happening? What are we doing? Where are we going? How much will it cost? What, do you need to bring sunscreen? Yes, bring sunscreen. That sort of thing. And I just kept doing them. We kept having parties. And so I knew that just if you throw out into the empty digital void, hey, I'm going to do some stuff at my house. Anyone want to come? People will just show up. And you can take that at scale. People want to do stuff. Fun fact. I'm not aware that you might not be aware, but people want to do stuff. And you should send that email. But even beyond that, because I don't think a lot of you are going to be starting conventions after this, but I think you should start that YouTube channel. I think you should draw your OC in some really experimental poses and post them online. I think you're better at doing a lot of stuff than you think you are, and I think that more people will like it than you're afraid will not.
Apply to that job you are not qualified for.
Apply.
Comment on that fan fiction. Just do things. Life is better with more of you in it. So that's number 1. Somewhat on that note, Simone touched on this earlier, is that we wanted disabled people deserve better. People in general deserve better. One philosophy we have always tried to stick to is to make DashCon as accessible as possible. That includes pricing, and that includes general accessibility at the convention. I am physically disabled myself. I use a cane sometimes. And so okay, is there an elevator here? Are there chairs I can sit down in, not just in the panel rooms, but just in the entryways, or do I have to crack my knees trying to sit on the floor? We have been doing our best to try and take in a variety of perspectives to make this open to more people, because disabled people, you deserve better. All of you deserve better. You deserve free water at a convention that's in fucking July.
Yeah.
You deserve free period products. And these are things like we really wanted to budget for, because it wasn't that hard, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll flip it a little bit, which is if you're feeling frustrated that the world's not accessible to you, and you're feeling kind of marginally better that this place is a bit better, it's embarrassing that nowhere else is. This was so easy. This was not hard. Water does not cost a lot. Extra chairs, letting people in is not that hard. You just tell people, yeah, some people can't walk that far and need to get absolutely assured seats. It's not hard. Skill issue. It's so embarrassing. And you are not being irrational at all if you're mad. Never, ever think you're being irrational when the world's not made for you. It should be. And it's not hard.
And frankly, again, if you are mad at us and the accessibility of DashCon 2, let us know. We want to make this better for you. Please send us an email at queries, or you can come up, if in person, come up to one of us personally. We want to hear you. We may be a little busy today, but we will try to take time and space for you to talk. So, yeah. One last thing after all of that is that people care. Way more than you think. There are so many more of you in this, even to the, it doesn't matter that today we sold out a bunch of our merch I was expecting to sell out. We sold 550 tickets in 20 minutes, and it was only that long because the website crashed. It doesn't matter how many people I've seen here. I'm astounded by the number of people in this room listening to me right now. You all care, and I care. And we all care about this stupid, silly thing because it's not stupid, and it is silly, and it is whimsical, and it is joyous to be in a room with people who care. Do that thing. People will care.
So guys, I think you should be friends. I think you probably have at least one thing in common.
Friends was basically, we've asked what do we want people to take away from DashCon? Friends. In person. Being around. I hope that there is a DashCon 2 baby, not because someone gave birth in the ball pit, because someone met the love of their life at DashCon 2. And on that note, we wanted to open up the floor to you. Mal is gonna take the mic, thank you. And you can ask us questions.
Alrighty.
We got 13
You
minutes,
guys-
looks like.
Yeah.
Do I just randomly go?
I guess we can
Ebony Darkness Dimension
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, what was your favorite part about planning this? If you had to choose, even a top 5 moments of, besides obviously getting the email from Strange, but maybe your favorite things that you learned, or favorite interactions, or things that you were really excited about.
Strange Eons came to my house to build a horse Plinko machine. Oh my God! I'm never reaching that high again. I asked her, hey, we're making the Plinko tomorrow. You wouldn't want to come to that, would you? And she's just I would actually. Yeah, and there's footage. You'll probably see it at some point in late July, August. I don't know when she's posting.
It's actually at the very end of the most recent video about DashCon 2. You can see us filling up the ball pit, actually. It's the 3 weed-smoking girlfriends joke.
We're gonna keep this moving.
Okay, there's another nice Ninja Sex Party t-shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Hell yeah.
I went to the tour in Seattle. It was phenomenal.
I saw him in Montreal.
It's so good. Okay, maybe a dumb question. However, for DashCon 2.2, who would be your dream guest, your dream special guest, blue sky, you can have anyone show up to be your headliner guest at DashCon 2.2?
I think I'll go first. This is truly pie in the sky. Think of anything. Hey, Danny Sexbang, do you want to yes! Would you, if we just glued a concert venue on the side, would you?
We can ask
I'll email you. You won't reply, but I'll email you.
Yep. This is I would like Abigail Thorne to come, please.
Oh, yeah.
We will schedule DashCon, like DashCon 2, the third one, around you, please. Thank you so much for donating to the charity raffle. If you go downstairs for our charity raffle, you can see that we have posters and the prints and a Miku binder tank top from Abigail Thorne, who was wonderful enough to send that to my house. I would love for her to be able to be here next year.
Given how well the tickets sold, will you be aiming for a bigger venue next year so that more people can attend?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Frizzle. Yes. Here's the thing. I have been, and it's so annoying because I get that question a lot, and I am terrible at responding to it because I just say, I will make you no promises, none promises, left beef, until we have lived through today. Because it's technically, just like a time warp could open like in an hour and this whole thing could be ruined. Like technically something could go wrong and I want to promise nothing, but I can tell you I want to do it and I want to make it bigger. I don't think it'll be as big as some people want it to be. I think if it got even larger, it would lose its charm, but it'll be bigger than this. Yeah. It'll be somewhere different.
Yeah, just seconding all of that. Ask me at 11:35. Actually, don't ask me at 11:35. You shouldn't be here anymore. The building will kick us out. But yeah, we want to obviously open up for more people to come and whatnot. But yeah, no promises because we want this all to go well and make sure you guys have the best experience you can right now. And we don't want to overpromise anything. Like we got 6,000 people who wanted to buy tickets this time. That's no promise that they'll still be interested if it's like no longer a weird bit of going to the next one. And that's also we also don't necessarily want to have to, run 6,000 people for our second ever convention.
Yeah.
Galaxy print leggings or okay. Someone else.
Sure.
It is okay.
Yeah. How does planning for DashCon 2 differ from previous events you have planned?
Very, very. Because I worked in charity. And I worked a lot smaller than this. So the event that I ran most recently, tickets started at $100 a pop. Because it's I worked in a very, I'm from Mississauga. I don't know if any of you are from Mississauga, but the south side of Mississauga is where I was working, and it's a very wealthy side. So there's a lot of, the environment's very different there. And it's you're not focused too much on programming because it's a lot more like speeches and catering and all of that. So logistically, just getting people in the right place at the right time, which is critical, it's pretty much the same. But things like panels and the duel, no, there's nothing like it in the world.
I'll be real, we have sent the wildest business emails. Part of it's also the amount of control we've had over things. Honestly, it's been very fun to be able to be like, okay, what do I want at this convention? What interests me and the people I think who are coming here? So that's been very different. And also, again, there's a lot at DashCon. You gotta, okay, does our insurance cover inflatables? What if someone does piss? Oh God, what if someone it's a safety thing. Pregnant people can't be the ball pit. So a lot of contingencies you wouldn't necessarily expect, especially because, if you are in charge of it's very different from being boots on the ground because you have to know, okay, we need signs at all these tables. They need to be printed. I need to both know where to print them. The guy who's going to tape them, I need to provide tape. I need to provide all of that stuff. So there's a lot of menial things, but honestly, it's been joyful and wonderful.
Don't forget Galaxy leggings. They're next. Over the front.
First of all, thank you so much. And I was wondering, what made you choose Toronto as a venue city? Oh my God, same question. What made you choose Toronto as a venue city? Was it because it's bigger than Montreal and more accessible for more people to come to? Was it because of Strange, or was it because of the venue, or a few other things?
We live here.
Oh, wait. I thought you said you were in Montreal.
In Montreal 8 months of the year, but we live with our parents, and they're here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you guys...
It's okay.
No, because my family's in Montreal, so I was curious.
I also got grandparents in Montreal and stuff. Shout out Oma and Opa. You are not watching this.
Okay.
But yeah,
shout out
we live
Tata.
here.
Shout out my uncles.
We
and
live
stuff.
here.
Thanks.
We understand it a bit more, and I think two of you are going to understand this. Faut parler français si on fait à Montréal. il y a beaucoup de gens dans mon cercle qui ne comprennent pas le français et ça c'est difficile. Je suis pas censée de les apprendre le français afin de faire une convention.
Ah,
C'est difficile.
on doit imprimer chaque chose qu'on devrait imprimer 2 fois, une en anglais, une en français. It's cheaper to do it here, honestly.
Oh yeah, because you have to have things in French because of the laws in Quebec.
That's what I said because for the people who couldn't understand what I was saying. Yeah.
I'm like an actual internet researcher. I do a lot of research about like 4chan and Tumblr and about Telegram and all this kinds of stuff. And a lot of articles and books that I've heard about 4chan is like rise of alt-right and everything like that. And they're like, oh, and Tumblr was a left-wing, like girlsy fandom, nerdy alternative where it's just weirdos who are always concerned about accessibility. And like, if anything, I hear from other like academics, like intelligentsia, are like, yeah, it's these people that have brought identity politics into the left. So I wonder, considering the fact that we are all in this room, if you guys have any like thoughts about that of like what is really missing from these analyses.
Luca, is that you?
A little bit, maybe.
Okay, I was just like, is that the person who was emailing me? Yes, okay. How do we answer that?
I think part of it is that Tumblr maintains a lot of shine from very early days, and the fact that a lot of Tumblr, like 5-10 years ago, was a fair bit younger. And so when you have sort of like in the 2010s a rise, push to the left in a fair few politics, obviously there's like, it's more nuanced than that. But I can say broadly speaking, there was increased visibility of marginalized identities, and a lot of people who had marginalized identities getting on the internet for the first time and realizing they weren't alone. And so you get a lot of complicated discussions from people who are figuring themselves out as like online primarily. It's part of why like in-person community is important, is because you just hit such a broader spectrum of people when you're not filtering tags and when an algorithm is not trying to push certain things on you. And so I think that there's missing out a bit of nuance of like Tumblr. It was very young for a long while, and that reputation, because that was sort of like its peak in terms of user base, maintains, I think. Additionally, I don't think that like kids on Tumblr are the ones bringing identity politics, or even necessarily adults on top of the one bringing identity politics in the left. I think that we need to sort of expand our scope beyond that. It's just that Tumblr is primarily a text-based platform and very highly visible because it is do better at archiving things than other media sites and whatnot. And so I also think that those kind of analyses definitely miss out on like the far righter parts of Tumblr, you know? There are TERFs on Tumblr. There's a reason I blocked them. The Cottage Core Tradwife pipeline is so real. I think these analyses are also just like missing out on the half of the website that like hates these like the lefties and the kids and stuff, because there are far right or conservative blogs on Tumblr. They exist, and they're left out of that kind of thing.
The only thing I can add to that is that a lot of people's understanding of Tumblr is not Tumblr, but screenshots on Pinterest/Instagram. So you're only gonna screenshot the funny stuff or the inflammatory stuff. And in general, I just think maybe even by luck of the draw, just the right-wing stuff got less screenshotted. So the stereotype formed in a smaller way, and then people confirmation bias. We're just seeking out like more young lefties on Tumblr to laugh at. So, yeah, pretty much.
We got like 2 minutes. We'll do one last one. Okay. Okay, 2 quick questions? Okay, we can probably do it.
Do you consider running DashCon 2 to be experience in your field of study?
No. For the record, I want to go into like public service and government. So if in like 20 years you realize your MP was that guy who ran DashCon 2, if I ran one clown show, I can run another in government.
I'm an environmental scientist. This is an environment, I guess. There are some organisms in it. It's true. Yeah, I think I found my calling more here than I did studying the environment. But I'd like to just combine, it's not technically in my field of study, but I'd like to combine those skills. My goal is to do like environmental summits, just put together all the smart people in the room because somebody's got to do the catering if they're all going to talk, that sort of thing. So, yes, and
as someone who met one of my best friends at the original DashCon, and now we get to be here at DashCon 2, I just wanted to say thank you for doing all this.
I am so glad you're here. I am so happy for you, and I hope this has been as positive an experience as the original one. I hope all of you meet a best friend at DashCon 2.
Thank you for coming.